we've got wonderful visitors. This is Ms. Moore, and you're going to pay attention to me.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
Who do you think I represent, or I am? Your first one, go ahead. Very good. Who was George Washington?
The first president.
Of?
The United States.
Very good. The first president of the United States of America. And when you get older, we'll teach you more. He was actually the 18th president of America. There were 17 before he became the United States. I'm the Confederation for your teachers. We're here today. Well, before we get started, I'd like to thank your teachers and your principals for allowing us to come in here today to speak to you about the flag of the United States of America. But first, I'd like to introduce myself and my friends, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am what is called a veteran, and so are these gentlemen. Who knows what a veteran is?
It's somebody that fights for the army.
Well, that's very close. A veteran is somebody who served in the military services of the United States. Army, like you said, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps. You've all heard of those, right?
Yeah.
Those are our military services. They're there to protect us Americans, so nobody bad can come and do us harm. If you served in it and you served honorably, you become what's known as a veteran. Someday many of you may be veterans. You may want to serve in the Army or Navy or Air Force or Marine Corps. It's a very honorable thing to do, to stand up and protect your country. Okay? We're members of an organization called the 40 and 8. Who has heard of the VFW? Or the American Legion? A couple you have, okay? The 40 and 8 is very similar to those. It's an organization made up of veterans. Okay? And what we're here today to do is to teach you about the American flag. This program is called Flags for First Graders. Any first graders here? Oh, all of you. What do you know? Well, we're lucky that we're here for you then. And what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you all about our nation's flag, the American flag, okay? We're going to tell you what you can do with it, what you shouldn't do with it, and we're going to teach you some facts about it, okay? Like the different names, the songs, and everything about the American flag. You guys excited about that?
Yeah!
Very good. Okay, if I get these gentlemen to come up on stage, they're going to introduce themselves. My name is P.T. Moore. I served in the United States Navy for 20 years. I was a diver, and I enjoyed it. Thank you.
My name is George Forsby. I spent 20 years in the United States Air Force as an aircraft mechanic.
My name is Bob Shuping, and I spent 23 years in the Air Force, and I flew B-52s for the majority of the career.
My name is Gary Dieter. I served 6 years in the United States Army, and I was a signal man, Signal Corps.
So now you've met 4 veterans who live in Bay County here. And like I said, we're here to teach you about this flag, and we're going to start out with that right now. Okay, let me hand this flag to these gentlemen. They're going to open it up and hold it out. We're also going to teach you how to fold this flag. You don't have to do it, but every one of you will get a chance at the end of this presentation to fold the flag on the table over here when you're done. And if you're all good and you listen, at the end of the day, we've already given it to your teachers. You're going to each get a small flag of your own. Yeah, see it? Look at it. There they are. Very good. You'll have another one. And also, you're going to get a sheet of paper. Right? You're going to get a sheet of paper to take home to your parents to tell them what you learned today about the flag, okay? It's very important. Here we have the United States of America's flag. Okay? Can any of you tell me what its name is? It has some names. Who knows what they are? See a hand. Go ahead. You know? Go ahead, sweetheart. Well, that could be, that's the color as the little boy next to you. Go ahead, bud. No. Put the red shirt. Got your hand up. What is it? What's its name? It's got some different names we can call it. No, that's not one. What? How about the little girl?
Star Spangled Banner.
What's that?
Star Spangled Banner.
Well, it is the United States flag, but let me help you. One of them is called the Stars and Stripes. Okay? If somebody says, hey, where's the Stars and Stripes at? You know what they're talking about, our American flag, right?
Yeah.
Another one is called Old Glory. Old Glory. Say that, Old Glory.
Old Glory.
Okay? And the last one I know you've all heard, the Star Spangled Banner.
Star Spangled Banner.
Very good. So that's 3 names you know that our flag can be called by, okay? We also have a song that we sing to our flag. I know all of you have heard it. Who knows the name of that song? Go ahead.
Mingle. Mingle.
No, we're going to cover that later. Yes, sweetheart? No, he just said that, yes?
Mingle.
Somebody said part of it.
Mingle.
What'd you say?
I said mingle.
No, that's close.
Star Spangled Banner.
Very good. The Star Spangled Banner. Good job, buddy. That's the name of the song we sing to this. It's also known as the national anthem. Okay? A gentleman by the name of Francis Scott Key, back during the Revolutionary War, wrote this song. He was on a ship, and he was watching one of our forts be attacked by the British. And there was a flag that was flying high over Fort McHenry, and he was watching the bombs explode all around it. The British kept trying to shoot that flag down with their cannons. But in the morning, the flag was still there, and that song tells a story if you listen to the words when you sing it. Next time you hear it, you listen to the words, it'll tell you the story about our flag. And there's 4 different verses. Most people think there's only one. There's 4. The third one's my favorite, but that one's the one they've never seen this thing sing.
Well, it might have cuss words.
No, sweetheart, there's no cuss words in that song, I promise you.
My mom said if I say cuss words that I'm grounded.
You got a good mother. That's the way it should be. Okay, listen up. When we sing the Star Spangled Banner, who knows what we're supposed to do? Go ahead. Quiet, kids. Say it again. Very good. Well, first thing you do, everybody stand up. Stand up. Okay? What you would do is you take your right hand and you put it over your heart, like over your heart, right here in the center of your chest, over your heart, okay? That's what you'll do when you sing the national anthem. You also do that when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, so we're going to do that later. Wait a second.
Let's all get our right hand.
Right hand.
Your right hand.
Turn the window side.
This one. Thank you. And it goes over your heart. Now, if you're outside and you have a hat on, say it's real sunny, like I have a hat on, what you would do is you take your hat off, and my hair's long. You take your hat off, and you put the hat over your left shoulder. Look where my hand's at. Where is it still at? Over my heart still, okay? If you're outside and you hear the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, you stop, you come to attention, and you put your hand over your heart, okay? Go ahead and sit down again. Thank you. Okay. Now let's take a look at our flag. This is the flag of the United States of America. How many stars are there?
50.
Raise your hand. How many? Very good, 50 stars. Raise your hand again. Raise your hand, no yelling out. What does each star stand for?
The United States.
No, it's close. You're in a green shirt. Go ahead. What does each star stand for? You don't know? Okay, somebody you haven't picked on. The little boy in the red shirt on the end. Very good. Each one of these stars stands for a state in the United States of America. How many states are there?
50!
There's 50. Every time we add a state, we add another star to it, okay? All right. How many stripes do we have on the flag? Little girl in a purple coat. How many? Very good. 13 stripes. Who knows what each one of these stripes represents? The little girl in a pink coat. Huh? Okay, anybody else raise your hand? You know, in the blue, what does each stripe stand for?
United States of America.
Close, but not yet. Go ahead in the red shirt. What? No, and I'll explain it, okay? Each one of these stripes stands for one of the original 13 colonies. Before we were a country, we were a bunch of colonies under the Great Britain, under England, okay? There were 13 colonies, and we were not treated very well. So we wrote a letter to England called the Declaration of Independence, and we sent it to the king saying, we don't want to be colonies no more. We're going to be our own country. And each stripe represents one of those colonies, okay? Hang on a second. All right, we already said 13. Have we always had 13 stripes on our flag? Has there always been 13?
No!
explain. When we first started adding a new star for every state that joined our nation, we also added another stripe. And some of the people back then said, whoa, that's going to be a way big flag. So they came up with an idea. We're going to keep the original 13 stripes, but we're going to add a new star to the blue field. Okay? And that's what we've done for today. At one time there was 15 stripes, but then they moved it back and said, no, we're going to hold it 13 to help us remember we were originally 13 colonies. In 1795 is when we had the 15 stripes on the flag. It's when the states of Vermont and Kentucky were added. And then in 1818, they changed it back to 13 stripes. And at that time, they added 4 more states to the Union, so they just decided to add the stars onto the blue field, okay? Who can tell me how old this flag is? I mean, not this one, but the American flag in general. Go ahead. Huh?
83.
No, a lot older than that.
100.
More than that.
Over 7,000.
I'd like to think it was, but no. Go ahead.
1,000.
No, as of right now, I believe it's 235 years old. Who knows when we became a country? What year? Have you learned that yet? No. We had a lot of problems in the 60s, but not then. We became a country in 1776. Okay? That was a long time ago, well over 200 years ago, about 235, I think. Who knows who sewed the first flag up for us?
Betsy Ross.
Very good. Miss Betsy Ross sewed the first flag. George Washington went to her and said, we need a flag. And he had a star, but it was a 6-sided star, not 5. And he says, I really want a 5-point, but I guess all we got is a 6. She says, no, I can sew you a 5-star. She took a piece of cloth, folded it up a bunch, and then snipped at it, held it up, and it was a 5-pointed star. And that's how we got our 5-pointed star. And she sewed our first flag. And as you get older, you'll read about it in your history books. Okay, now we're going to cover some of the things you should and shouldn't do with the flag. First thing you should never do with our flag is you never display another country's flag higher than ours. They can be at the same level, but you never put another country higher than ours, okay? Ours is either above it or in straight line with it. Who's heard of the United Nations? It's up in New York, okay? New York City. If you look at a picture of the United Nations, you'll see all the flags of the countries out there, and they're all equal height, including the United States of America. We're neither above them, but we're definitely not below them. Okay? You never fly a flag upside down. The only time you would ever do this is if you're hurt or you need help. You're in time of distress. Say you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean and your battery's burned out, you're out of fuel, and you're just out there floating around, you're out of water and food. Then you would fly your flag upside down and hopefully a plane or a helicopter would see and come help you. They give you assistance. But that is the only time you do that is when you're in trouble and need help. Okay? Everybody understand? That's called a flag in distress. It's when you send out a signal called SOS, Save Our Souls. Okay? You never allow our flag to touch the ground or water. It should always be held by, see these gentlemen, they're very strong. They're going to be here a couple hours like this showing you this. Okay? But the flag never touches the ground or touches the water. If it does, you need to take that flag and have it cleaned immediately, okay? Never dispose of your flag or get rid of it. Say it's old and tattered. Your dad had a flag at home and he flies it, and after time the flag beats itself, right? What if it gets all tattered and worn, all shredded? What do you do with that flag?
Burn it.
Very good. You may have seen our presentation a couple of years. You have to properly dispose of that flag. That's something we at the American Legion in a 48 do. It's a big ceremony. It's really neat. We did one a couple of years ago for you out here on your playground. It's a proper ceremony, the way you dispose of a flag, okay? But you never throw it away. There's a certain way of taking it apart and then putting it in the fire and burning it. There's a very big ceremony involved in it. It's called retiring the flag. And veterans, we love to do that for our country because we served our country. This flag is a symbol of liberty, of our country, of freedom, and that's what we stand for. Always show your flag the proper respect when it is flying or when you store it. Now, when you're done with the flag at the end of the day and the sun's going down and you don't have a light to shine on it, you have to take that flag down and put it away inside, right? To do that, you need to fold it a certain way, and we're going to teach you today how to do that. All right? As I said before, we have small flags to give you at the end of this. So I suggest you all sit here and listen very well, because each fold of that flag means something special. And I'm going to read it as these gentlemen fold it. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. The first fold. Well, they're going to get a fold until they can get to the first fold. They're going to fold it in half, turn it over. The blue's on the downside. Now they're going to fold it in half again. And turn it over. There you go. Very good. Now we're going to make the first triangle fold. Here you go. The first fold. The 13 stripes represents the original 13 states, and those states are Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey,